So much.
Hey, Gwendolyn.
So much is going on. There's so many things happening on these internet streets.
I know. And then the internet streets is one thing, but then you got like, so I don't know if anybody else looks at it like this, but when you have like work and other stuff to do, it's like the internet is like one part, right, of the shit that you want to do today. And then all of the other responsibilities are the things that you have to do today. You know what I'm saying? So it seems like for me, I got to be like, all right, I got YouTube time now or social media time. Then I got to switch that off and be like, all right, I got to be all these other things or whatever. But it's like, for some reason, it just seems like so much stuff is happening. It's like, even in real life, like I'll be driving down the street and I'm like, what the hell is that? Or like, what's going on over there? So much stuff happening. Anyway, now I'm rambling, but
no, hey, you did. I was just thinking the same thing. I was just saying hey to Ellen. But yeah, I was just thinking to say, hey, Gwendolyn. I was just thinking the same thing about just like having all of these responsibilities, and it's only probably going to get even more like thick as far as schedule is concerned, because once you start like, you know, following this passion of like creating content
and businesses like you
and businesses, it's so many things to do.
It's different though, because no, it's the same, but the mindset, I mean, not mindset, I don't want to say mindset today, I say mindset enough. The temperature in your mind, right? It's like, okay, I got to go to work. I got to be here. If you're doing it for yourself, it's a different kind of busy, because then you're in control of it more than you are for, you know, other people. But I like being busy, and I like having, like, I have so many ideas that have just come to me, and I'm like, where was this, you know, in 2020? But
no, I feel like in everything in its own time, a lot of people came up in 2020 that are probably now not really, unfortunately, doing so well, because, you know, maybe it just wasn't real. It was just like opportunity. It was like a reason, you know, I say reason, season, lifetime. But yeah. I feel like this, like, you're right. Once you get into doing whatever it is that you're passionate about, like the time just goes by. So here's the difference between, like, you know, working for a paycheck and working for your passion. It's like the time goes by slow when you're not really interested in the thing, but you just got to get it done to, you know, do a good job. So if you got to work hard anyway, you might as well do the thing, like, or be in the area or the industry that you really love the most, right? Like, if I love lip glosses, I might as well
What's up, bro?
You know, I don't
know. No, you're right. You're right. But like, okay, so like, I'm gonna tell you kind of what today was like for me, because this is when I woke up this morning. I was like, I watched all these things happen yesterday on YouTube, and I was just like in my mind, like, oh my God, I wonder what's gonna happen with this, I wonder what's gonna happen with that. And then I was like, but you gotta work, okay? Today is still a weekday, so you don't even be thinking about that. So I have to do my work first and like focus on my work, and then, because YouTube will lead you down a rabbit hole. So
yes.
Some of the things that happened yesterday was just like, you know, I'm gonna stop saying weird, because
what is weird?
I can't even say it's weird. It's just
every time bizarre.
Something crazier happens, and it's just like, okay, all right.
Some of this stuff is bizarre though, because it's like, what is really happening? Like, why is this happening like this? And why is this the reaction? Why is this information coming out right now? Like, is it real information? So we're going to get into a couple of those things. But I was just laughing because when you were talking about like starting businesses and stuff like that, we talked last week about like educating ourselves. And it's so funny how information is right at our fingertips. Like, we did not have this 20 years ago. Like, yeah, we had the internet 20 years ago, but it wasn't like this, where you could get information from several places. I saw somewhere the other day, and I don't know if it's true or not, but I'm just saying what I saw, that they were like, Google lost search traffic to TikTok. Like, people are TikToking, searching things on TikTok before they Google it now, like a certain amount of people. And it only happened like maybe like last week or something, but I don't think it's going to sustain. But it's one of those things where it's like, I know they say YouTube is the second biggest search engine, and I would imagine Google is number one.
Well, I think Google owns YouTube. Because when you get
Yeah, I
paid,
believe so too.
you
But
can
they say like if
let me
you just
see.
go to YouTube and search, like there's some things I would Google, some things I would YouTube. Like okay, for instance,
Well, I
I'm
mean, but if you Google it, it's gonna come up with everything. It's gonna come up with the videos. It's gonna come up with the images. It's gonna come up with what I'm saying. So like if you YouTube it, yeah, I do search YouTube, but
sometimes I search
YouTube is
YouTube.
gonna come up anyway.
There's two specific examples, or three really. Well, one of them is kind of like the same thing. We needed to change this light at our old place. It was one of those fluorescent lights, and I just could see us like breaking the thing, or really, James getting up there and breaking the thing. I was like, somebody has got to have YouTube changing a fluorescent light before,
Right?
And sure enough, it came right up. If I would have read the instructions, I wouldn't have got it as quickly.
No, what I mean is when you go to Google and you type in whatever you would type into YouTube.
Yeah.
When it comes up, you got images, you got news, you got shopping, you got videos. The videos right there. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, sometimes I don't even go there though. I just go straight to YouTube. Like I YouTube the other a while ago, like how to make Alfredo sauce or how to make gravy, and I literally wanted to see all of the thumbnails of like so I could choose to see which one I wanted to use. I wasn't even about to Google that drink. I'm going right to YouTube, even though it's the same. Even though it's the same, what I'm saying.
YouTube is not Google, but Google is like Google is owns YouTube, it, right? So that's what I'm saying. Like it's just tabs. When you put it in Google, it comes up. It searches YouTube.
Yeah, I see that. I just know that sometimes I just go directly to, and sometimes
no, I do too because I'm like I always want to see or whatever. But
sometimes, especially when I buy something, I'll go to Instagram to see if anybody put pictures up of it, and I'll search that, or I'll search. I haven't searched TikTok yet, but I guess that's the thing. Like if you're just on a platform, I guess you're just going to use it. You're just going to start trusting it. Like for for more stuff. I don't know.
Then that stuff comes up, like I said, that stuff comes up in the search engine. So like Google is the number one right now. I guess you said that TikTok stole some views from them, right?
So this was just last week. Like
so they were seeing that number one.
I don't think it's gonna last. I'm just saying I saw that it was like, last week people search more things on TikTok normally that they would search on Google. Like Google felt that like void of these percentage of people, and they were on TikTok. And it always makes me wonder, like, how do you know that? You know what I'm saying? Like, are y'all
somewhere is tracking that? I mean, because if they're a competitor, somebody got to be watching it. You know what I'm saying? But then also, TikTok has a bunch of short videos to watch, so you can search a lot more things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In the time that you would think to search Google for something. But I mean, the first thing I do when I want to see a picture of something, I'll put it in Google, and then I'll go to images and look. Or if I'm looking for something, shopping, I'll put it in Google and go to shopping because I can see all the pictures. And then if you look at the pictures, the images, it'll tell you like, okay, so when you Google it and the word files come up to be like, okay, go to this website to read. The websites that have pictures are going to show up in the images. So I always go to the images tab to see which article I want to read. Like, so the picture will take you back to the article. But anyway, I don't even know why I went all the way into that. But
no, I mean, look, you just told me something.
But I'm still trying to figure out how to use TikTok. Like I know how to upload a video.
Same.
I figured out how to do a duet with somebody, but I don't know like what do you just search on TikTok and you be like, oh, I want to do this, and then you just save the whatever the thing is.
So I've watched a couple of things on how to TikTok and right, like, but they make it sound so, they make it seem so complicated, like it's 15 steps. Like first you got to download the audio, then you go and do your video and face tune it and do this and do that, and then you turn it back on, and then you turn the volume down, and then you record it like this, then you pick your clips. Now I'm not doing all that, okay? Like that's just not getting ready to happen. But there are people out there who do it, and I don't know. I'll say this: it's very easy to get locked in on TikTok and keep watching TikToks because they're so short.
Right.
That by the time a new one comes up, like if it has your attention, you're gonna sit there and watch it because it's not going to be that long, right? So I can see
and
how
then you're gonna get an idea from watching that one. And you're gonna be like, let me Google this.
Right. Or you're gonna look and
for more TikTok
hashtag. And you hit the hashtag, and now you're on a whole other thing. You know what I mean? And it's like you could just be clicking on those things forever and you're just constantly seeing new stuff. I could see how, that's why I'd be trying to like not do that, because I've gotten sucked in a couple afternoons of my life just like just like looking at stuff. So I could understand why. And
like, how long have I been sitting here?
There's more content to consume than there are people creating it, because most people like me are sitting on there watching this and don't really understand how to put stuff on there. Now, I've put a few things on TikTok and it is not as easy as other platforms are. Like you have to, you don't have to edit necessarily, but you have to like really pick and choose because you only have that little bit of time. Mm-hmm. So if you record something that's longer than 30 seconds, which is likely, you got to go pick and choose and see like, okay, what clips do I want to put in there? And that can sometimes take up to like, 20, 30 minutes.
You're right. Because I know how to upload a video there. I know how to do that. But so what I usually do is I'd be like, okay, I want to post one of those short workout videos, right? I'll record the video. I'll have to edit, like cut out what I want to be in there based on the time limit, right? So, and then once I do that, I save it. Then I go upload it to the editing software that I use, put some music to it, and then or not. Sometimes I add the music on TikTok, but then it's like a couple of steps before I actually get the video to go.
It's a lot. And I've definitely done this before where I'm like, oh, I'm going to do a TikTok today. And then I'll get into something else and be like, I'm not getting ready to do all those steps. Like
that one I did one with Earl and it was like a dance or whatever. He had to practice with me like 3 or 4 times before I actually got it. It wasn't even that hard, but he just got, okay, Mom, do this, do that. And I was like, okay. And then I finally got it right. But I was like,
so let me ask you this: does he have issues posting things there, or is it just
he what he wants to do on TikTok is different than what I want to do on TikTok? He just wants to upload whatever he thinks he looks good in, like whether it's an outfit or whether it's like him doing a dance or whatever. He doesn't do. So when I look on TikTok, the ones that I like the ones that are like showing you something, like showing you how to do a hack or something, right? Or how to cook something. And I guess I can figure out how to do that one because it's just different photos or snippets of videos put together or whatever. But I think the ones that are intriguing to me are the ones where people are like, when I guess you can save the audio and then you can use it. But some of those people that be doing the mouth over, like they'll have a Martin scene playing or something, and then they're mouthing it.
They have to
like, how long did y'all practice hours? Because I would have not been able to move my lips at the same time with the whole thing. I feel like an old person now because I'm like,
no, but I feel like they just put a lot of
what's going on the TikTok.
People will spend lots of time on things that you're not willing to spend that much time on because you have other things that are more important to you. Like when I found out that some of these beauty gurus that I love to watch, and I love to sit there and watch their 30-minute makeup videos and see how great their makeup turns out. Lo and behold, come to find out they'd be filming for like 4 hours. So you get on there and you're like, if you want to see how I do this face, keep watching. And it's like a gorgeous, like
in the time they had to spend
bronze and contour and all that stuff. And then I think it was Jackie. There's a couple of people who ended up admitting in the thing, like, well, I'll be sitting here for like 3 and 4 hours doing my makeup. Or she'll say in the video, like, oh, I've already been here for like an hour and a half, and she'll just be on concealer. And I'm like, okay, that's why it looks so good, because you're sitting there for hours. I'm not getting ready to sit and doing no makeup for 2-3 hours.
That's actually filming. That's not anything to do with editing the video,
exactly.
Which also takes time because you pretty much just gotta watch the whole video back.
And I mean that's her passion. I love me some Jackie Anna, so I wasn't talking.
No. But it's like
I think people who whatever you're into, you're gonna spend time doing that and making it look the way you want it to look. So, but when people are on TikTok and they're doing those voiceovers or they're doing those dances and stuff like that, especially when they're doing stuff like outside in a specific place, it's like, I know it took you at least an hour to figure that out. Like when you're doing a clip and you got Martin playing in the background, like you didn't know that you had to go and listen to that joint like 14 times. You messed up like 10 times.
Okay, so I will say, somebody who knows quotes like that. of TV shows. He might know Martin. I know he knows all the Friends. So some people have, really good memories and they remember how that shit goes once they hear it, once they know what the scene was or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't got 4 hours to film in one day. That's extreme. But I understand why makeup artists would have to sit there and do that, because it takes a long time to do your makeup anyway. It takes some time to do your makeup anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's just, I mean, like for me, look, but I'll spend 4 hours doing like whatever planner stuff I'm doing for sure. And so that's what I post on TikTok. I call it pin porn. If you look at my TikTok, it's just like me opening a brand new pack of pens or like some specialty markers or something like that.
Yeah, that's probably a thing too.
That's what I call it. I don't think anybody, I don't know, they might call it that, but that's not one of my searches. I feel like something weird would come up if I did that. I'm not willing to see what comes up.
And then you're going to run for president in 20 years and they're going to be like, oh my God. They were like, she was searching pin porn.
Right.
2022.
Oh my God. See, I do feel like people get caught up like that on some completely unrelated stuff.
Yeah.
And then they have to be held accountable for it later on. And then I have to explain. By the time somebody accuses you of something like that, you got to come back and say, it wasn't me, or I didn't do it, like didn't go down like that. It's like, you sound like a liar. Like, look, remember a couple weeks ago when they was talking about Tiffany Haddish and Ariel Spears, and like, I still don't know. I was getting ready to call him something else. I was getting ready to say
Aries.
Aki. I don't know what the hell I'm saying. But Ariel Spears and Tiffany Haddish got some heat off of something, and I was thinking, like, did they really do that? Like, she doesn't strike me as that type of person, but it seemed like it was one of those things that, you just did in really poor judgment, and like, and it just followed you or whatever. But I don't know anything about that.
Facts.
Ellen says, my makeup consists of lip gloss. I might do a matte lipstick. Yes.
I'm down with that. I might add some mascara sometimes, but that's me right there.
That's me on the go. Now, I do mess around and do a full face on a Saturday or a Sunday when I have time.
Be beat when y'all be filming for
yes. I mean, like, I love makeup. I'm not gonna say I could sit there for 2 hours, but I could do for sure. I could spend at least an hour on my makeup and be cool. But that's it. Like, after that, I'll be like,
that kind of time. You know what I can do in an hour?
I know, but I mean, like, I be having fun doing it, but I don't think I could do it for more than an hour. And I'm not saying that like that's my goal. Like, typically, it takes me like between 30 and 40 minutes to do like my entire face.
That right there has been my biggest deterrent.
Yeah, if I do something fun with my eyes. Now, if I'm just like trying to get out the door, or like let's say we're going to church or something, like it takes me like 20 minutes because I'm straight up like, okay, foundations, a little bit on eyes, a little bit on this, 20 minutes, I'm out. But like if I'm taking my time and I'm like, oh, I want to do a smoky, eye, or I want to do a purple eye with this, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll sit there and I'll do it, and that's fun. But I just couldn't do it for longer than an hour is my top.
I used to know how to arch my own eyebrows. I used to know how to do bomb eyeshadow for a short period of time. And then I went into this mode where I was like, if it's going to either subtract away from my sleep or take away from me being able to like, chill and relax or whatever, I'm just going to not do it. Cause I'm like,
because I could just apply that time elsewhere.
But but then like I tried to learn, but then I was like, I think I'm good. So
I love it. And so now what I'm learning is this, like, I've watched hundreds of makeup videos, and for some reason I got as far as like, oh, I have to do it the way they say do it, because a lot of those people don't even know what they're talking about. Those people are makeup artists. They just bought a palette and they were like, let me show you how to use this palette. But what I'm realizing now, and so Bethany Frankel is now like, she's not really a makeup influencer, but she kind of is. So she really just started like the beginning, like maybe March or April of this year, talking about, I don't know how to do my own makeup and I'm going to try. So if you want to see it, watch my Instagram. So what she does is she just basically fumbles through, plays around, works with products, and she's like specializing in like stuff like I don't know what this is. Let's see what it does. And she's like, geared towards women over 40 who don't know how to do their makeup. And I mean, Bethany Frankel is, I do appreciate her. She's fascinating
I
to me.
refuse to watch it.
I love her. So, but anyway, what happens is
I do watch makeup videos though.
She's confirming what I already knew,
I ain't got that kind of time.
She's confirming what I already knew, which is a lot of this stuff is just paint. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could use it anywhere. Like, you don't really need to look and see how to use it.
I bet you there's a bunch of makeup artists somewhere like you're scratching on the chalkboard right now. Like, how dare she say that?
The thing is, like, these are products that are geared towards, making your face look a certain way. You're not going to be like, if you practice at it, you could be a makeup artist on yourself or, do your makeup well. But like a lot of times, all you need is a little eyeshadow, a little this, a little that. You don't really need to put all the stuff on that the influencers put on. Like, people be putting on like 4 coats of foundation. I really don't think that's good for your skin, especially if you're doing that like more than once a week. If you got a photo shoot and that's going to be the Vogue cover for the next 2 years or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's one thing. Go right, all out. Or you're going
thing, but that's a lot.
Yeah, or you're going to perform on Broadway, have at it, put on 5 layers. But if you're just going outside or going to the club, like, I really don't think it's good or kind to your skin to be putting on 5 layers of foundation.
I think that some people really like it, and I watch the makeup videos. There's a bunch of people that this is one girl I watched. Her, we got the same birthday, but I think it's an art. I think that some people really know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? And I watch a couple of drag queens do it too, and they have to do a lot more. But the fact that they transform certain things the way they do is that's an art too. So like, no disrespect to that, but I just don't have that kind of time. And I'm like, I could be doing so many other things. But then my other thing for this, for the people who, like, I know throughout, like, I don't know, it was a long time ago, but I think I was like probably 20, but I met this girl and she used to work at the movie theater with me. And she was telling us how she never ever lets her boyfriend see her without makeup. I was like, so what do you do when you go to sleep? Because, I'm just thinking in terms of, I sleep very comfortably, and I might start out on my side, I might end up on my stomach, the pillow might end up down there. I like to do whatever I want to do. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And if I got on makeup, I can't do that. And she said she slept in the makeup, which I heard is not good.
That's not good for your skin.
Then I'm like, doesn't it get all over the sheets? And she was like,
sure it does.
She just sleeps like this, and
you then she can't sleep. And look, imagine a life like that.
Listen, I don't know if the lady was lying or not, but she said that she slept pretty, and then she would wake up an hour before he woke up to like reapply and do her makeup again, make sure her teeth were like minty fresh. So I was like, man, how much sleep are you missing doing that? Like,
who is he? Like, come on, man. He's gonna have to see you at some point. Like, and I'm not trying to hate on this girl or whatever, but it's really interesting to me. Like, it's not your face. Like, it's fine for you to put on makeup. I love the way I look in makeup, and I love like going out with it. It makes me feel good. I was
looking fly at your wedding. That whoever that makeup artist was,
but see, it's a wedding, so it's like, do me up. Like, there's gonna be pictures. Like, it's a special day. But it's like, I just can't understand. Like, you're definitely not supposed to sleep in makeup. And what you just said reminded me of this one person that I used to go to school with. She used to wear makeup every day, and it was late. Like, she used to wear makeup every single day. And then one day she must have been like sick or something and not had time or not had whatever. And everybody told her like, wow, you look sick today. Like, are you okay? Because she wasn't wearing makeup. We had never seen her real face.
See, you know what I'm saying? That's when you're taking it too far.
Yeah.
Like, if you look like a total different person without the makeup, that's a problem, because like, you're creating something that doesn't
exist
there. So that's crazy. I mean, but I do, like I said, I do understand you're supposed to use it to enhance your beauty.
Yeah, for sure.
But now that you say that, I'm gonna go ahead and bring this up. I don't know if you heard about this last year or whatever, but
and I mean, look, I gotta give you gave a little disclaimer earlier. Everybody each his own, but I do not agree with people who sleep in makeup. It's not good for your skin.
No, I don't think that's good either. But
and then she reapplied. Ellen, yes, that's what she said. She reapplied.
Hold on, why is this not working?
reapplied more makeup to for somebody to not see what she really looked like. I'm not hating on this
She said
girl.
that she washed her face. Well, I don't know. She didn't say wash her face, but I assumed that she got up to wash it off.
No, she did one of these little like.
But she's not even the only person that I have
Heard
known them that would do that, because I mean, I don't know. I mean, but like, I don't know. But anyway, I'm gonna share this because this happened last year. Some of y'all probably seen this before or whatever. But this man, he says, I was shocked. Egyptian man divorced his wife after seeing her without makeup.
Okay,
so an Egyptian man is divorcing his wife just 1 month after saying I do when he saw her without makeup. The man said he was shocked to see her bare face, to see his bare-faced wife the morning after the wedding. And that's crazy. The next day.
She waited until after the wedding.
He filed a lawsuit. I was deceived by her as she used to apply heavy makeup before marriage. She looks ugly without makeup, he told the court. The man met his wife through Facebook, where she often posted beautiful pictures of herself wearing full makeup. He decided to marry her after meeting her several times, but that soon changed after he learned about the transformative powers of makeup. See, okay, I'm just going to stop right there. I just wanted to share that really quick because we were talking about that, but that's funny because I don't they never took out together, like they didn't have hot sweaty sex. I don't understand what's going on with that one.
I do, because people like your person that you just talked about. Go to great lengths. They go to great lengths to hide that, whatever it is.
That's why I can't fully wrap my brain around it, because that takes time. Like,
can you imagine? I mean, it's called catfishing, right? And people do it all the time with other things, I'm sure there's stories out there about men who pretended that they were great providers, and then you marry the guy and he's like, $75,000 in debt, and it's like, oh, he needs your help, and it's like, you don't even know who you are, right?
No, okay, so I don't wish that kind of catfish on nobody, but like they'll be wearing hats. They'll wear hats all the time on the pictures, but then you meet them and they have like the hairline starts back there or whatever. But
it's purposeful, man. But anyway, that's so we got all sidetracked to the side about that joke. But anyway, I would definitely say, if you're out there dating, guys, you got to see, what they say, take her to the beach, take her to the pool. Well, these days that makeup will stay right on there, so you better, figure that out.
You just better know I don't know. I don't have any advice for you, but shout out to those people who are looking for people who. Because there was this dude that I just saw. One of my friends posted on her Instagram. She does hair. She's a bomb hairdresser, right? And she been doing hair since I remember she been doing hair since we was in middle school. But she was doing a client's hair, and so the client, she was doing a sew-in because I think the client had like thinning hair, and so she was sewing a wig on or whatever. And some dude came into the comments and was like, I wish we could go back to the days where women wouldn't dare show what they really look like. I was like, nigga, what? Fuck out of here. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
what was he saying that, like,
how would you interpret it?
Okay, so I guess he was saying that he wants people to look fake all the time.
That's how I interpreted it, because I was like, you don't want to see what the person really looks like for real, like that article that was crazy. The dude divorced her the next day.
That is wild, but that also makes me think that they weren't together that long. That's what that makes me think, that they weren't together that long. And if you think about
so there's another one. There's another one. In 2016, a newly wedded couple in the United Arab Emirates broke off their marriage 6 months after getting hitched when the husband saw his wife sans makeup. The incident happened when the pair went swimming.
See?
The 34-year-old man his wife's makeup washed off post-dip. The 28-year-old woman had to seek psychological treatment to deal with the trauma of the divorce. See, get
out of here, lady.
That brings me to this. That brings me to this. Like, okay, I feel like that she probably did have to seek psychological treatment, because that act of going through all of that to the point where she did not let him see what she looked like until, that far into their relationship.
Well, she knew.
I'm saying, like, you are not feeling good about yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so the trauma was probably from just accepting who she really is and being okay. Once you stop giving a fuck about other people's opinions, life just opens up like a flower. Anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you can find somebody who doesn't care what you look like. She was
so stupid.
He was probably more traumatized. Yeah, he probably was. Because it's like you bought something that you did, you got something that you didn't bargain for. And it's like I would agree, she probably did need some treatment, because she was the one who put the facade up the whole entire time. Like, you know how you're like, what did you do differently, right? Like when you go to the doctor and you're like, oh, my knee hurts, and it's just like, what did you differently? Oh, I was jumping on it. Okay, don't do that. Like, she knew good and well that she was putting that makeup on, and there were times where she woke up in the morning and was like, oh, it's raining, or oh, I'm hungover, or oh, I don't have time to put on makeup, and she did it anyway because she didn't want him to see her like that.
Yeah, and that's the crazy part. Like, I don't have any problem with makeup. I actually am about to get into lipsticks a little bit more, because I've been finding some colors very attractive, but I'm gonna go. I think we should go to Sephora one day, or Ulta, so I can try out some stuff.
Yes, we should. But my mother-in-law just told me that they have Sephora's now in Kohl's, so I was like, oh, I have to go check one out. You know what's funny? So here's the real appeal for me with makeup. It's like you get to play. We did this thing with my coworkers. It was like I guess like a paint and sip, but we didn't drink, but it was like super fun. And I forgot how fun it is to like just play with the colors. But that's like what I'm doing when I'm putting on makeup. It's like, but it's my face, so it's even more fun, because it's like, oh, I want this to be even. Oh, and I want this to be dark, and I want this to be light. Oh, and I want purple right here, and I want green right here. Like, it's just like you're painting. So
I know. I'm trying to figure out how it got there from the little Clinique compact foundation,
right?
The little lipstick that you could also use as blush. You know what I'm saying? Some pressed powder and some lipstick and some eyeliner. That's all they used to wear back in the day. Maybe some eyeshadow, but it's so funny how now you need 50-11 brushes. You need all types of different face things or whatever. It's just so interesting how like things change, because all of those things serve a purpose. You know what I'm saying?
But you don't really need all that stuff. It's just fun to have, since you're here anyway. It's like an artist with like 50 paint brushes. It's like you really only need a couple brushes. But I'm obsessed.
Like I have 50 crochet hooks, and I don't necessarily.
Yeah, and it's like, oh,
I might need them one day. So
I'm sorry, I keep cutting you off, but they're all a little different to me. You know me and my pens. It's like, oh, I want to write with a pen that's this way and this color and this length. Like, it all matters to me because I'm so into it. But like, it's all in fun. You don't need all the like, I have all the brushes, but you don't really need all that stuff. It's just all in the fun. Anyway,
well, your nephew has gotten into skincare, so he is doing this skincare regimen that it actually seems to be working. Like he didn't have acne, but he had like a couple of little trouble spots on his face or whatever, like growing up, and he thought it was just he just always would be breaking out. But it's really done. He came back from out of town the other day. He was like, what my face look like? I was like, what am I looking for? And he was like, remember how it used to look right here? And I was like, oh, it did. Like, so I was like, that's worth it. You know what I'm saying?
Is he using like a product, or is he making his own?
It's just a face. Yeah, he's using a product, but it's just a face wash and a moisturizer or whatever that he uses in the morning, and at night it's a PM moisturizer. But he's been like, so he watches these guys on YouTube or whatever. He just like we got our group of people that we watch or whatever.
Yes,
he has his own set of people that he watches, and he does the same thing as us. He listens to people talk, and like just the same thing that we do. It's so funny.
I love it.
Be him, but so he.
I be sending him stuff. I be feeling so old sometimes, but I think he be watching the stuff.
And sometimes it crosses. He'll come in my room and be like, "Is such and such talking?" I was like, how you know that person? And then he'll be like, oh, they was on such and such video. I was like, oh, I follow them too. And he'd be like, you do? Because he didn't realize that I follow some of the people that he follows. Because I was like, you're an adult now. Of course, we're going to like probably.
Yeah, we're going to run into the same stuff. We're
because,
looking at the same feed.
So he's not looking at, you're right? It's just all what you choose to look at. But it's just so interesting to watch. But some of those people, influencers, right? They have a lot of them have been doing this specific brand. So yeah, anyway, but he got me being like, okay, I need to get really back into what I need to do. So we do need to go to Sephora or Ulta. So
yes, I'm down.
Anyway, you guys have been great to sit here and let us talk about random fuck shit this whole time. Like y'all were just sitting in y'all chairs all night. Y'all wasn't even tripping. We're actually gonna get into whatever we were gonna talk about today. Sis, you got the floor.
Okay, I did have to say one more thing, which is so random that I meant to tell you at the top of the thing. So last week I went to the store and I stopped at the gas station and somebody came up to me. And now here's the thing. I don't know if I've just been watching too much ID channel or what, but I always be hearing these stories about gas stations. So the lady walks up to me and I was already in my car. And she was like standing there with her phone and she looked like a normal person. She wasn't like a beggar or something like this. But she was like, oh, like she was waiting for me to roll my window down. And she didn't look like she was like from the church or anything like that. She just like was a regular person with a t-shirt and some leggings. She had her phone in her hand. And I guess, I don't know if she was going to ask me for something, but I never rolled the window down. And I remember I still had my mask on because I just came from out of there. And I was just like, and the whole rest of the night, I felt so bad. When I drove off, I was like, what if she needed help? And then I was thinking to myself,
she would have looked like she was in distress if she needed help.
She didn't look like she was in distress. Plus, a police officer had just pulled in. So I was like, well, listen. And she just caught me off guard because she walked up on my car, and I was thinking to myself, I just finished. I be watching the ID channel too much, but
no, I don't think so. I think you should go with your gut. I don't care how crazy you think.
This is where a lot of crimes happen, where you're coming out of the store. Like I just saw somebody post something online last week where she was coming out of like a pharmacy or something, and there was a van parked next to her car, and she asked one of the employees to walk out. And when the employee walked out with her, the car moved, the van moved. Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, you're moving now? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was not a coincidence.
Yeah, so, I don't think around like that. I don't even park.
Look, and then James was like, what if it was somebody you know? What if it was somebody that be in the chat? And I was like, no, it wasn't. But I was thinking to myself, like, see, this is how people get abducted.
Listen, like, I think that
maybe somebody needs to talk to me. No. Listen,
I think that you should go with your gut because all of this crazy shit is happening now. And so like okay, so something could be as simple as somebody walking up to you asking you a question. But if it's a situation where somebody's trying to get you to get something on your skin or get something in distance of you, like those people who be walking around talking about you want to smell my perfume. No, I don't know what the fuck that is. You better get the fuck away from me with that. I am very intentional about making sure that people understand what they're about to come up on before they come up on me, because when you come up on me, I'm going to show you everything in my eyes. Like, as soon as you get over here, you know what I'm saying? So it's up to you. But nah, I give you the little head nod. But then if I feel like, oh, this person, I happen to have $10, let me give this person $10 or whatever. When I have that feeling, I give, but it's not everybody. And I remember, I'm gonna tell you a quick story. I stopped at the gas station, and it was this dude. It was this dude out there, and he was he just looked like a regular dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say he had on like sweatpants or nothing, but he didn't have on no suit either. He didn't look dirty or anything like that. But he was like saying about how he just got put out the car by his girlfriend, and he needed something or whatever. And so I was just like, whatever. And I go inside, right? And I'm like, what the fuck? Why are people asking me for money? Mm-hmm. So I'm in there and I'm getting the stuff I needed.
What made you ask me?
And I'm like, and I was actually going in there to go to the ATM, and I was like, these people, man. So, and don't get me wrong, I don't mind giving, but I don't like nobody. If I sense that it's not genuine and that you just out here, trying to get over on people, then that's the kind of I'd be like that. But when I came out, he was like, he was still like, you know, trying to tell me the story or whatever. And I just ended up giving him a couple of dollars, but I was just like, you know, because in that situation, I was just like, it doesn't feel like he's faking, but also I'm just trying to get out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
which is unfortunate, but like my point is, like, you never know when somebody's gonna come up to you and do something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and so that was the feeling that I was getting. Well, not even like
don't
that.
feel bad about not rolling your
but
window
my
down.
thought, I got over that. But my thought was this: like, I definitely don't want to leave nobody in need, especially if it's like a dire situation. But my thought was that, like, you're a woman, you must have heard some of these stories about people getting distracted at the pump, and then somebody's in their car, right? So then there's that, and then so that's what made me get rid of that thought. When you told that story about the gas station, I have a similar one, and I'm gonna make this quick. This was years ago, back when I was serving tables, and I came from working a lunch, and I made like maybe $45, and I was almost on E. I stopped. I was like, I gotta put at least $20 in my tank because whatever, and then I'm gonna go back, home, and then I'll go back to work tomorrow. Some guy came up to me, very genuine guy, told me, listen, I just ran out of gas. I just, I'm about to run out of gas. I just need $10 to put in my tank. I normally don't ask people for this. Like, if you give me $10, I would really appreciate it. And like, he was so, you could just tell that somebody's like, okay, well, I've been in that position. Here's the $10. Do you know that I went in there to give my 20 and this motherfucker sped off with my $10? He put near him $1 in his tank. Right, went right to the expense.
See, okay, so that's why I say,
I have $45 and I gave you 10 of my $45. I will never do that again.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you cannot rely on the fact of how the person looks or whatever. You have to go off of how it makes you feel. If you felt like you didn't need to roll your window down, you need to drive off, that's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Because if it's genuine, you're not going to feel alarmed and on edge. So that's how I kind of go off with it, because I have a couple stories like that too. Like, I remember when I used to work downtown, I used to catch the metro, and I used to have to walk, a couple blocks to and from the metro, and sometimes I would get lunch or whatever, and I wouldn't eat it all. Now I do understand that. Well, this was pre-COVID, but people are weird about accepting food. But it was this homeless guy that I used to walk past all the time, and I used to give him money sometimes, whatever. And one day I walked past and I had gotten lunch, but I had a sandwich left over, and it was a bomb ass sandwich. You know what I'm saying? But I just didn't eat it, and I was going to eat it. But then when I saw him, I was like, "Oh, let me give him the sandwich." He was like, "I don't want that." I was like, "Well, excuse the fuck out of me then."
Excuse me.
But then he also ended up being, oh shit, I can't remember what street he was on, but he ended up being busted out for living in a big ass mansion. That was his job, that he would come out there looking all whatever and collect money. Like Ellen's saying here, I saw a guy with a prosthetic hand on I-95 exit one morning begging. I didn't give him anything. Later on that day, that man was at a happy hour standing at the bar with the same prosthetic hand. Like, this nigga was begging for money to go drink at the bar.
At the bar? You didn't even go get a bottle? Like, you have enough money that you've collected from other people who are going back and forth to work that you could go to happy hour. I don't even be going to happy hour like that. But you know what? This is all just to say, I'm not trying to say don't give to the needy, but some people ain't needy. And I feel like, just like certain industries dry out, like maybe, like the cab industry dried out when Uber came along, or, there's probably not so many people going to restaurants now that there's DoorDash and all this stuff like this. I mean, they're still getting money, but some industries dry out, and maybe panhandling is,
Well, okay, so it just goes, I think everything just creates a new level, right? So you had, like, just like Ellen was talking about the man with the prosthetic hand, there was another story about this girl that used to be outside with her baby, and those women, and they have those babies out there and them signs or whatever, and then somebody follow her home from whoever picked her up, follow her home, and they had a big ass house or whatever. And so I mean, it just makes you be.
I heard about some of those kids are not even really their kids. They're just like abducted and drugged or whatever.
I heard that too. All right,
so we got all off on a tangent.
I know.
All right, so let's get into this. So basically, you want to start with the reality rants, or you want to go into the IG stuff?
We can do reality rants, and then if we still have time, we can do IG rants.
Gotcha.
Because did you watch the latest episode?
I did, and I have a confession to make. I have to say, that I was wrong about a couple of things.
Let me go on mute. I can't wait. I can't wait to hear this.
Look, I literally was thinking to myself, what was I don't know what I was thinking about, but I literally watched that last episode. Two things stuck out to me. I do think that what's her name? Charisse and
she looks like Evelyn Lozada.
She does not. No, that is not what I
thought that's what you were going to say. Okay.
That is not. It's not. Okay. But I do think that she has a connection with Samson, which I did not believe before. But now my computer is shivering. I'm trying to bring up the. Anyway, I'll just open a new tab. I do believe that they have a connection, and I didn't think that before. But Panhandle is illegal in Broward County. Oh, that's what's up.
I know. I wish it was.
They know something that we don't know.
Yo, it was this lady. Never mind. I'm not gonna say that. Go ahead.
Go ahead. What are you gonna say?
I was gonna talk more about panhandling. Let's not go back there.
I mean, I'm with it.
No, I'm not. No, I'll tell you later.
What is that? You know what?
Look at Ellen.
She's a great value. Oh my gosh. That you know what? Now that is probably accurate. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, whatever. I'm gonna find somebody who agrees with me.
You're not. You're actually not.
But no, continue though. You said that you see that they have a connection. Okay.
Yeah, I see that they have a connection, and it came when he met her friend, and the friend was basically like, "Oh yeah, you and him." She liked him and everything, and the friend liked him, and I think he's a stand-up dude. I also said something about how I think he might be a little naive, and I take that back too, because he doesn't give me that. I don't know what I was thinking about when I said that. I think I was thinking that she was pulling one over, and he was all there for it, because when he had initially met her and she was kind of like ignoring him, I was thinking to myself like there was something to that, but she probably was just on her phone. And a lot of us do that. I do that. I'll do that all the time. So, there's that. And then when I said that Justice might be insecure,
that's not right.
What the hell? I do think there's a level of like ego and insecurity with Justice, but I also feel like he's a narcissist. Like, what the hell? Like, who is he? Like, why does he think so highly of himself?
So
I'm not saying that you shouldn't think highly of yourself.
I was saying,
highly of myself. What is he seeing? Like, maybe he's seeing a former or another version or a future version of himself.
Or what if he was like, because they don't pick those people that are there. What if he was like, well, nobody's here is in my type or my cup of tea. So I don't really care. I can't just walk away. So I'll just have to I don't know my way all the way through it.
Like,
because he's not bad looking. You know what I'm saying?
No, he's not bad looking at all. And I'm not saying
when he starts to talk that you be like,
when he starts to talk that it's just all the way thrown off. And I'm just thinking like, who accepts that from you and who's okay with it? And like, how do you not hear yourself talking? And it can't make sense to him.
So, but that's the thing. If you don't, okay, let me put it like this. You know how a guy would act if, well, I ain't even gonna put it like that. Let's just say somebody put you in an office and they had, what are those standard big pens that used to be those old clear see-through Jones back in the day? They was like, so somebody's like, this is all you're gonna have to work from this week. You would let them Jones drop on the floor. You wouldn't really care if you had them when you left. You wouldn't really care. You just be like, something right was over there.
Yeah, that's true.
But if it was your favorite type of pen, you would be like, let me make sure I show this Jones some compassion, some interest, some attention. So I think that from what I get from him is that, like, we only get what they show us on the show, but what I get from him is that, yeah, he's a dick, right? He has the ability to be a great asshole. We got it, right? He thinks he's like that, but he, he's able to be like, he's one of those people that carries himself like, if you're not on what I think my level is, then you only got a certain amount of time that I will entertain your bullshit. Is how I look at him, right? Not your bullshit, but like
whatever it is you bring, whenever I'm done with you, I'm done with you type of thing.
He's not even really letting it seep in. It's just like one of those conversations you have with somebody every day on the elevator. You just like, oh, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? But you don't think anything of them. They, you know what I'm saying? But if it's somebody he was interested in, he would be like trying to wait for at the elevator. He might go farther if it was somebody that he felt like he liked. So my point is, he needed to go. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, he did, because the show is called Ready to Love, and clearly you're not here for that. Clearly,
I said that he seems like somebody just wanted to fill a spot. Like they have to have somebody like that on every season. Not even just like that, but like there's all these characters. Meaning, you got to have somebody that's going to be the really nice guy. Then you got to have a really quiet woman. And then you got to have a woman that's not so quiet. Then you got to have, you know what I mean? And so I just think that he fit the role this, because I just can't really see him signing up and being like, oh yeah, I'm going to go look for love. Yeah, let me do that. I just never got it from any of the episodes.
So, okay, let me talk about this too. I didn't realize that Brandy and Samson could have something until didn't she meet his.
So they went on a date last episode, I think it was, and like he was looking all spiffy, and they went. I forgot what they went. Did they go get ice cream or something? They did something, and that was when I know. I was like, oh, they actually
like vibe a little bit, and I could see. I could see that, and now it's coming back to me. I did know that. Sorry, I did know that, because I remember thinking like, yeah, she's a nice girl. He's a nice guy. They might have something. Because I remember thinking, and I'm not going to lie here, even though I'm trying to be kind, I did not get that same thought in my head when him and Sharice was going out. I think of Samson as a nice guy. I think of Brandy as a good, wholesome, nice girl. And when I saw them two together, whatever, like at the ice cream, I remember what you're talking about a little bit, like vaguely, but I remember
I think it was like Sharice that did the ice cream. I don't know what
Brandy, maybe they did, but wherever Brandy and Samson went, I remember thinking, oh, they could actually have something. So when he met her friend and he made a comment like, oh, I'm patient, like I know her and Mike obviously have something, it's clear, like you can see it, but I'm patient, and I'll, sometimes when you stick around and you're patient, you never know what can happen. There was something along those lines.
Yeah.
Now, at the same time, Mike is attracted to Kayla, and I was really kind of shocked to see her get upset at the end. And I made up my own story in my head as to why she might have gotten upset. I mean,
I think I did too, but go ahead.
I won't like put anything on her like this is definitely what happened, but obviously, okay, to me, it seemed like she probably realized that she was making a former mistake, right? Like, oh, this has happened to me. I've been here before. Because the way her friend was like, but you were looking at him, and the guy who's a nice guy was talking about you and talking highly of you, and you weren't even looking at him. He was looking at you the whole time. And I feel like it dawned on her, right? This is what I picked up. I don't know this to be true. It felt like it dawned on her like, oh my God, I'm doing it again.
It's so funny that you say that, because that is exactly what I said in my video, almost to the T.
Okay, because I don't like to watch it because I want to get your real reaction right here.
I also watched, Kayla had a live last night, and she was talking a little bit about it. And so she basically was not really, she didn't say that it was because she was, doing her own pattern, but she just said that she realized she had to do something different, and she was just frustrated. You know what I mean? But she has a good show over there too, because it's interesting. It's always interesting to see the people who are involved in the process to talk about it. So I hope she continues to do reviews like Sabrina did, because Sabrina, it's just something about having the insight of having gone through your own similar process that you can kind of give a better review of it, because you can. Kayla has been pick Misha-ing for Mike. And I don't like that. So, okay. So I'll say this, right? That show puts people in a position to look like a pick-me. I feel like they got Jamala looking like a pick-me. I feel like
yes.
at some point they have to make it so this is how it looks like it starts out to me. It
All
starts
right,
out
you
with
gotta
the
go back to
men.
Jamal, but okay,
It
go
starts
ahead.
out with the men looking like, oh, we need to go make these connections, right? And then it ends up, and it kind of seems like the women have the power, but even though they switch each week, it seems like towards the end, once we get down to like, you know, a small amount of people, all of the women are waiting to be picked, it seems like. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that's maybe
that brings back the whole Paul thing from last season, Paul and
yeah.
Because it was like, you know what, we're not going to pick each other just because we're left behind. Yeah. We're going to just go and do us. And then she went and got into a relationship after that, which I always thought
get married. They got engaged.
I always thought I was thinking to myself, not like, why is she on the show? But I was like, she's such a good catch that I'm sure, like just by being in this area,
was somebody that was her friend.
I knew there was somebody around her who was like, oh, you're going on a dating show and you never allow me to take you out? Like, let me hop up on that. I just knew it. I was like, there's no way.
Stop playing, Ellen. When did she go over there? Oh, Lord. Okay, well, not even on the show, on social media too. Kojo and Sean were trying to get her to understand that she was defending Mike. Okay, so let me say this about. I'm gonna have to go check that out. So Kojo is the guy from the UK that I sent you a video of.
Oh yeah.
I really like his videos. I like the way that he breaks stuff down or whatever. So, and I like his accent too. So I ain't even gonna lie about that.
Yeah,
I like when he say, you know, people moving mad and shit like that. But anyway, that's another story. But so the thing is, okay. I saw when I watched her show last night, she had these guys on her show and she had some women on her show too. Shout out to First Home too, because she was over there. But so they got to talking about the whole situation where, you know, Kayla was number 2 for both Mike and Randall. Like she wasn't either of their top pick, right? But meanwhile, she's still trying to fill out which one she likes too. You know what I mean? And so what she ended up saying was that she had more time with Mike. Mike was calling her and talking to her and stuff like that. He was giving her the time, but Randall was not. So he probably was preoccupied because he had 2 other connections. You know what I'm saying? And he just wasn't managing that time good. But they got into this kind of back and forth because the men were trying to tell her that, you know, you need to go and get what you want or be vocal, or she was saying she don't chase. And I totally agree with that because you cross a line. Like if I'm going to chase you as the woman, like I don't know how that's supposed to work. Yes, I'm going to show you interest. I'm going to let you know that I'm into you or whatever. But I mean, I don't even like the word chase, but it just becomes a different kind of relationship if, you know, because okay, and this is why, because women and men love differently. Like women we want to be in the relationship, right? And men, we're trying to get y'all to be in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? So it's a fine line because if the dude is doing the pursuing and the woman is letting him know and she's allowing it, okay. But if it's turned around, now it's kind of like she really doesn't know how he's really feeling because he's waiting for her to come do all that, right? She's coming to pursue her.
Yeah.
So Taylor was saying, like, I let him know. I let both of them know. And so Mike's logic about, they were trying to get her to understand, okay, you were kissing other people. And she was like, yeah, 2 pecks. We can call it kissing, but whatever. It was pecks. You know what I'm saying? It's not that serious or whatever. And he was like, well, if I wouldn't want my woman doing that. They both were saying that, right? Like, I don't want my woman to be, you know, out here kissing on these other dudes. But when you flip it around, what are these other dudes doing? They're over here dating their other connections as well. And whatever's happening over there is happening. What's the difference? You know what I'm saying? And so it's basically a double standard, but don't nobody want to say it's a double standard. So I feel where Kayla was coming from though, because if I've told you that I'm interested in you or whatever, I need you to take a step. I mean, that's it, because it's so easy to string a woman along just by, and men don't really like to hurt women's feelings anyway, but you got to be able to pick up what's being put down. If a man wants you, he will come and get you. But there's so many men that leave women in limbo of, you know, making a woman think that they like them enough, and the woman is already spinning off in her head like, oh, you know, we're doing this together, we're doing that together, he said this and he said that.
Okay.
And now you've strung this thing along in your head, and dude's just like, I'm just trying to get some regular cooch on the
Right.
regular.
Well,
But,
check this out.
But that's why this confused, because if you really want the woman, you need to make it clear. You can't just be like, oh, well, I'm gonna go over here and play with this girl and watch you. This is the dude say, I'm gonna play with this girl over here, but I'm gonna watch to see what you're doing. So you're gonna be over there messing with another chick, and you think I'm supposed to just be standing right here just twiddling my fucking thumbs so that I don't make you mad when you're out there doing it? Like,
this is again why this is such an odd situation, because it's not like a regular dating situation, but like I would even say that Jamala is giving me that vibe of like going too heavy, too hard, but it's working for her with the guy that she wants. I felt like I didn't think that.
Too, girl. I did just mention her.
I didn't think that her and Randall were. I thought Randall was on Kayla until he said that he liked Jamala and that was his top choice or whatever. I didn't even get that, because I felt like she was at that whatever they did, like the artsy thing, and she was like talking about love and olive juice and all this, and I was like, are y'all there yet?
Oh, okay. See, that's what I'm saying. So, okay, that's what I mean. That's why I really wish that she wouldn't have done the whole olive juice thing. I understand.
Hey, look, he's still interested.
It was the sentimental thing or whatever, but when you are in a situation where you know all of these people are dating multiple people, you still need to hold some cards close to your chest. And I feel like with that, it just kind of put her in the position to be like, she just waiting out there for him to pick her now, and that's you know what I'm saying. That's not how.
Like, check this out. I guess it works because he's with her, or he's not with her. I don't know how this ends up, but I'm just saying, like, he was drawn to her. Same thing I would say about Brandy and Mike. Like, Mike is out here. He know he could get picked by Kayla. Like, he know him and Kayla got something, and they probably would be like, if they met each other in a different circumstance, they would have already boned. They might have. I ain't gonna put that past. But Brandy seems to be like, you know, sort of nurturing and sort of like into him. And I think he's liking that. So he's saying, well, Brandy's my top choice. But then at the same time, if Brandy's your top choice, then you wouldn't let her see you do things like stand up and talk to Kayla. Like, you know, you wouldn't put her in a comfortable position. You would almost like, you know, want to keep that on the hush.
I don't know that anything happened. Kayla was confused about that as well. I think she said she was confused as to why the hell he was having her stand up. But to me, looking at on TV, it just looked like something that a dude would do if he was trying to make sure that something didn't happen or something wasn't said. That's how it felt.
It could have been that, or it could have been
like if I don't know, you know, I always got to do analogies, but like when we were little, if I knew that I did something throughout the day that you were going to tell on me to mommy about, I would be like making sure I'm standing by your side whenever mommy came in the house, so I can just be like, if you go say something, I can give you a look or whatever. I don't know.
Right.
I made that whole thing up in my head, but like it was pointless for him to do that. But you have to think like, yeah, I wouldn't think he would do that in front of Brandy if that's his top connection. But something gave him the motivation to do it. So was it that he really liked her? Because when he got there, he still didn't say nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, here's my thing. It kind of gave me the vibes of like, I don't know if this, I'm sure it's happened to you. When a dude tries to get really close to you to like see, to like feel the chemistry type of thing.
Which
like,
is weird in front of
look me in my face and say, it's just like, just sit down, sir.
So if they were by themselves, ouch, I just hit my ankle on his weight. Okay, if they were by themselves, I wouldn't have even cared. But it was just such a like spectacle thing. Like, come over here.
Odd that he did that in front of his top.
And usually when somebody's being that awkward, it's like, what are you trying to hide? What are you trying to cover up? What do you think is going to happen, right? But then at the same time, Mike seems like he does have a lot of not negative. I retract that. I did not mean to say negative. A lot of nervous energy in that when he did the shoulder grab at the table on Randall was even like, what the fuck is he doing right now? When he was like, this is the guy whose lips touched hers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it was odd. He might be awkward. He doesn't seem awkward.
So maybe that stand-up thing was an awkward move because I think
they have a lot of sexual chemistry.
She wasn't any more enlightened after she stood up in front of him when she went back to sit down. She was like,
okay. I think Mike and Kayla have a lot of sexual energy, and they're just unsure what to do with it because they can't act on it, and they're trying to be their better selves, but you know,
So
they
I
really want
think
to do what they used to doing.
everybody saw the sexual chemistry, and I think that what I got from it was, so I'm just speaking from my own personal experience on how this watching them made me feel. You know, there's a certain type of guy that I like. And whenever I see that type of guy, or maybe a certain person, right? And it's like, oh yeah, but I know that I'm that person, what we went through is not what I want. You know what I'm saying? But that's a type of person. Like sometimes it just changes bodies, but it'd be the same kind of energy. It'd just be like, okay, you know, this person, you're really feeling this person, but they have these traits that you can't take. So I think that's kind of what Mike and Kayla were going through on Kayla's side. Like Kayla probably was like, I'm really feeling him. This is the type, whatever. But there were probably things that were like red flags in the back of her mind, like, well, shit, this and this is familiar and I can't do that no more, but I really like him. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what he's doing. And then he's showing the attention, because men can sense certain things in us too, especially when we're not sure of what we're thinking. So it's like, they, not to say they, you know, they probably notice insecure broken women, but I'm not saying that's her. I'm just saying when you in that moment of unsureness and you could possibly have like a repeat pattern moment, I feel like they can sense that too, because they know exactly what to say to give you just enough.
It's like we're all animals, young animals in the wild.
You want some more, and then you like, I can't think of a good reason to just say fuck them, but I probably should say fuck him, but no. But then here he comes texting. Here he comes talking about you want to go eat or whatever, like little something just to like get over that hump. But they still not giving you that commitment or that, you know. But it is a type, right? And so maybe from watching TV, what I got was Mike. Yes, he looks fun. He looks nice. I get it. But then Randall, who's a total different look than Mike, right? He's not even just a look, but just personality wise. But still a good choice. Really stands out as the better choice of the two. Not to say that Mike's a bad choice, but like Kayla's growing up and she's getting, not to say that she's a little girl either. I need to stop.
No, I know exactly what you're saying.
My point is she's looking for grown man stuff, what she said. And Randall had that grown man energy and they had the chemistry, but it's probably different than what she's had in the past. And sometimes that makes you be like, am I making the right decision? Kind of. So, but I just think that on Mike's side, I don't think it was the same, as far as he wasn't thinking about it as deep as she was. Like she's really trying to actually learn about herself. Like she's one of the only people that really said that she came on the show to learn about herself. And that is why she's probably going to end up finding something, if she didn't find nothing in the show, she's going to find something like soon here, because that's what it is. Like when you're open to learning and you're open to doing something different and just kind of being able to receive feedback and stuff like that, that's when you grow and elevate. But on Mike's side, I don't feel like that's what he was trying to do. I feel like he likes Brandy. They've been stuck together the whole time. And at this point, I believe they said it was around, I think they're in at 8 weeks this time. I'm the single one's going to have to help me out with that, because I think Kayla said last night that they're in week 8 at the process. They're in like the 8th week of dating. So everybody's been dating for that amount of weeks. And so whatever's been happening has been happening. So whoever's talking all the time is getting closer and closer and stuff like that. Right. So for Mike's side, I feel like he thought, I wasn't saying that he was feeling nobody at first, but then when I really realized he was feeling Kayla, he blew me when he said that she was a video girl fantasy and Brandy was the real thing.
I feel like that was not the right thing to say.
Well, I wanted to have more elaboration on that, because it's like, what are you talking about? Because it sounds like you are, it didn't sound right. And so I wanted more elaboration on that or whatever. But I think that he did like her though. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think a lot of them understood, the men understood what they were about to come into, as far as how difficult it might be to juggle dating multiple women.
Yeah, even Mike making the comments and making a big deal about the kids. It's like those things are gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like we're on a dating show. Like we're gonna have chemistry and we're gonna kiss. Like it just felt really weird.
That's what she was saying, but it seems like, I don't know. Okay, so one thing this show does do is these things exist. So it's like a microcosm of what happens in the real world. There are people like all of these people, or people have certain preferences or whatever. And so, there are some men that do think like that. Like, I don't want my woman kissing nobody else or whatever, but good luck with that. But
I ain't your woman yet. Okay, let me talk about this, because
see, in their mind, that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because they're the men, and this is how you look like Justice. You're gonna come into my kingdom and you're gonna get down by my rules. That's and just is what it is. That's just how they. Not all of them.
Now,
how some of them are.
Let me glaze over this real quick. I don't think LJ is gonna make it too much further, because he's I don't know. I'm not gonna judge too quickly because I was wrong last time. But I think Looney needs to start making other connections, because this is about to be the second guy. I don't know if her and Swayze had a connection. I can't remember. But now let me get into Swayze and Katie. This is wild. So there's something happening here between Katie and Charisse. They're having like a bit of a turf war or something, not over the men, but like as far as like, I feel like Charisse is kind of like hanging in the cut, collecting information, because okay, let's talk about what happened with Katie and Swayze.
How the fuck out of all the universe spaces does the fly find this little door into my world all the time? Like, I just do not get it. Anyway, all right, whatever.
No, that's funny because it's stalking you. It was trying to be on camera. No, so I was thinking what she said. Men are used to lying. That's why they struggle with it. Well,
because listen, if I was to ever go on a show like that, my strategy would be transparency. I don't give a fuck how you take it. If this is what's going on, this is what's going on, and nobody has shit to say because you all knew what was going on. So
look, you shouldn't really lie, because it's gonna come out and now you look like a crazy person. So Ellen says Swayze doesn't answer Looney's calls. Well, he might have to start after this thing went down with Katie. Now let me say this. I like Katie. Go ahead.
They're together right now on Instagram. So
okay, I like Katie. I like, I like their connection, her and Swayze's connection. It seems fun. It seems genuine. I didn't really look at Katie and like he was gonna, like he was serious. He seemed like he seemed kind of young to me at first, but then I realized like, oh, he's just like a fun-loving person. So, but I did not appreciate the way that their date went when she introduced him to her friend, because it was almost like, so first of all, they kind of was in there like, oh, you gonna give him the heat and this and this and that, and it was almost not like a setup, but it was just kind of like they weren't taking into account that he might not have been coming there for that, right? Like to get grilled. Like he might have just been coming there thinking like, oh, I'm gonna meet someone and their friend. And so for them to come with that kind of energy, like they're vetting him when he's not applying for a job. Like he I don't even think he came with this competitive spirit of like, I'm gonna prove myself. I think he came with the idea that I'm just gonna show up, I'm gonna be myself, fun-loving guy, and that's all that's gonna matter. And then so then here's what I think it went left. The friend starts speaking really fast. Swayze doesn't capture me as this like fast talker, right? I feel like he got frustrated because here's this lady who I don't know kind of putting the heat to me and talking fast, and I can't really keep up with her. Then they said something that he never said. Like they put words in his mouth.
See, right? Now, okay.
I did not like that.
I agree with you that it looked like they planned to do it, because she said, oh, this is what we know. She was like, what do you want to, what is going on? And she was like, I need you to ask him some questions that I can't ask because I don't want him to be offended.
Right.
Which is wild to me, because you should be able to, you're getting to know him and you should be able to get these answers and not have to do it like this. But I digress on that part. But I feel like this thing was edited too. So we don't know what he might have said, because it could have been taken out. And she seemed very passionate that he told her that he only dates, or he doesn't date Black women. But he said he didn't say it, but dudes be lying. So I don't really know. But the problem I have is the way that they acted. They acted juvenile, and that ain't how you get answers and stuff. And like, I just...
I didn't appreciate that, and the fact that the fact that his daughter's mom is black kind of flattens out that theory anyway. If he decided that I just don't care. Like if he decided that he was not gonna, he had some grand scheme and he wasn't gonna date black women for 3 years, and now he's dating black women again. Like I could see why it would matter to Cadian, but it just doesn't need to be something that you're grilling him about on a date with one of your friends. Like maybe it's a conversation to figure out like what's really happening. But for you to say like, oh, so you don't do this, and then like put him on the spot like that, I felt like that was really like
that's the part. Yeah, that's the only reason why I agree that it was some sucker shit, because that's just not how she should have handled that.
That's not how you're supposed to do things, especially if you're talking to a man and you want the man to be a man, right? Don't treat him like a child. Like I felt like that it was very kind of like condescending the way that they were treating him and talking to him like, oh, you just doing that. It was like,
because the only reason I think that is because it's certain things you just can't respond to like in a certain way. Like if somebody says, oh, you're an aggressive black woman, anything I say in
at that point that's aggressive,
be perceived as aggressive. So once he got into the point where he was kind of backed in the corner of the rapid fire questions about something that he probably talked to Cadian about and didn't really know that her friend was gonna, that they were gonna do
that.
And so it's like, okay, well now I gotta go to the, I got one black friend and I got a white friend. Like when he was saying my baby mother's black and my child's black, like I don't feel like once you get to that, it's like you feel
like I'm not getting ready to explain myself to you, lady. I'm out.
So that's why I think that he got upset, but it really wasn't really much he could say because it wasn't going to be a conversation because it was already a little on the hostile side.
Escalated.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like he had no choice to walk away. But what do I know?
I agree. That's my same assessment. I felt like he had to leave because he was clearly heated. It wasn't going to go anywhere good. It's not like they were going to bag back and be like, "Oh, baby, we're being
filmed." So it's like, it's kind of like, okay, I gotta either I'm going to sit here and go through this and see how much worse it's going to get, or even if it's something that he doesn't want to come out, because somebody left a comment saying that he definitely told her that he didn't date black women, and I was like, well, it wasn't obvious to me because he said he didn't say it, but dudes be lying. But they didn't show her going back saying it again, and something like that.
Didn't see him say it.
But then the fact that they took the 3 years and coupled it up to he doesn't date black women was weird to me. But in retrospect, well, not even in retrospect, but I now have found out that he probably does have a type, but that's neither here nor there. My point wasn't about, them being mad that he was not dating black women. It was the way that everything went down. Yes. It's like, we could have easily sat there and had a conversation and gotten into all of it. You know what I'm saying? And so maybe they did talk a lot more and we didn't get that or whatever, but I just think that the way that went down was not attractive to me. And then like, I feel like she's in a situation. I've been there. I've been in this situation before where you lose your cool or you do something stupid because your ego is doing whatever it is and you think that you're doing it. But then after it's passed, you're like, oh shit, I can't believe I did that.
I probably should have done it that way.
Right. And so like he went and talked to Sharice afterwards because I think he had to go do something with Sharice, but he went and talked to Sharice afterwards. And, that's how she found out about it. But see, that's the thing. If you're going to go away from me and have a conversation with somebody else, cool. I'm only responsible for me. And so I would just like to be able to be, to have a cool, calm conversation, whether we disagree or agree. And then you can go on and say whatever you want, but you won't be able to say that I cussed you out. You won't be able to say that I set you up or that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just think that could have went differently. That's all.
It definitely could have. And once it gets to a situation where it's heated or where you feel like you're not being heard and then you react to that, then something could happen where you acted out of pocket and then it's like, now we only remember your reaction. And when you bring up the angry black woman thing, that comes to mind to me because I've been in a position before where people will be like, oh, well, like rolling their neck and stuff like, white people and like, oh, she's acting black, everybody. So anything I do at that point is gonna be like acting black. Anything other than ta-da, it's the WB. Like, I just have to shush because everything that I say at this point is gonna be considered like black. You know what I mean? And I felt like at that point he was in a position where it was like, oh, what do you have to say for yourself? What do you have to say for yourself? What do you have to say for yourself? And it was probably so irking to him that he was like, anything I say is not going to come out right. I got to go.
Now, I'm not totally saying that, he didn't say no. He could have said something that was unsavory to them, but like the way the whole thing was aired and ended, that just was not, I would not have wanted that to be the last,
and it seemed like, okay, here's the other thing that's happening. I don't think Charisse messed with Katie and like that. I think she's waiting in the pockets to just throw shade at her. I think she's just ready to be like, you know what I'm saying? Like she did at the women's lounge. And I feel like she's now on Katie end to where she's like, oh, well, everything you do, I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying, make myself look as, innocent as possible while throwing the shade and talking about how you should be a better person, which I felt like it was no need for her to sit there and talk and speak up for Swayze if that's not her connection. I mean, I don't know what that was.
So then so when you see stuff
I think she really just wanted to say that she talked to him about it.
Or Tommy could have asked her.
Yeah.
Because okay.
She like cut her off though. She was like, yeah, why would you do that? Because he was very upset. And and it was just like, she was like, because Katie was just saying like, I don't want to talk about it.
But was it did it, you know how when I do my videos, I'll be talking and you can mesh it together or whatever, like, did you see the camera? Was the camera on?
I didn't see all of that, but I just felt like she cut her off, so I don't know for sure.
Right. So if you see the camera and everybody's on the camera and it's not changing, then okay. But if you see the people and then it switches to somebody's face, we don't have any idea when
we don't know. But the fact still remains, though, that Katie was not wanting to talk about it until she talked about it with Swayze, but come to find out Swayze already talked about it with someone else. So now she was like, okay, I'll speak on it. But even though I didn't, you know what I'm saying, I didn't want to. So I think that was definitely, no matter how it was filmed or cut, it's like, oh, well, that was a fact. Like she said she wasn't going to talk about it, but then she said, oh, since he talked about it with someone else, I'll talk about it. But it's like, you shouldn't even have to say that.
But okay, so in her defense, she was going to have to say that she was going to have to bring up the whole he doesn't date black women thing. The whole thing happened right after that.
Absolutely. I think she's right.
But I can understand her not wanting to say anything about it.
Absolutely. I agree.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you wouldn't even be sitting here in the situation had you not ended the situation like that. It wouldn't even been a big deal. So, all the things that she tried to avoid, she was the catalyst of it because she did not have to carry it like that. That's all I'm saying.
But I just feel like people carrying water like Charisse, I felt like it was her great pleasure to bring that up. Like, oh, I know something about you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You had a competition with strangers. What are you doing? So don't give them no ammo. Listen, I guess
But I think she has it out for Katie and no.
Yeah. But listen, that's all the more reason to not give your enemy no ammo or your perceived enemy no ammo. Handle your business. Don't be out here pissing the dudes off that got to go date this other chick. Because no. So
it's true.
At the same time, they're on Instagram and I haven't checked in a couple of days, but so they're like, it shows like them going out on dates and stuff like that. So what possibly could have happened is that they both got booted off before the end of the show. And then they just got together. Because I don't think they made it to the end. So because they're not supposed to come out with who they're with, but I think that's probably what happened. They both end up getting cut because we still got episodes to go. So if they, got off the show and then started dating or whatever. But a lot of people think that they're faking. So I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, yeah, okay. So that was all I had about that. And then there's some other stuff that's been going on. I don't know which I was all off camera. I don't know which subject you would like to go into. if you would like to go into another one, but there's a few.
All right, I'm gonna let you pick, and it's whatever you want to talk about because we've been talking good all this time, though. You know.
Okay.
Whatever.
Well, okay, let's do this. Go. All right, look, let's do a quick shout out to Izzy and Liv.
And if it's I don't know about, I just have to. Huh?
I want to do a quick shout out to this brand, Izzy. Huh? What did you say?
I thought we were lagging. You just wasn't talking. Okay.
Oh, I was just saying
1,
that.
2,
3.
Wow.
There must be a lag. It's pretty
okay,
bad.
1, 2,
3.
Are you serious?
Wow, it must be really bad.
God. Wait, let me do this real quick. Let me take my.
Hello.
Okay, hello.
Yeah.
Am I echoing?
No.
All right. 1, 2,
3.
Good Lord, it's still. I don't know what's going on.
It's quite all right. So look.
So you talk.
I'm just gonna say I wanted to just do one quick shout out and then go into one last topic. So this that I'm putting into our private chat is Izzy and Liv's website. Well, actually, it's run by one person, and I think her name is Nicole Brown. Let me just make sure I know what I'm talking about. Yes, Nicole Brown. She's the founder of Izzy and Liv. They do those subscription boxes. You put me onto them, but I love their notebooks and like their bags and stuff like that. They have a lot of different things. It's a Black woman. It's a Black-owned business. Even though I be getting marketed to crazy on Instagram, and I have a huge problem with that. It's okay if I'm buying from a Black brand. So I wanted to give a shout out to Izzy and Liv. I love this brand. You bought me a few gifts from there. And I've loved the t-shirts that you've gotten from there. And I've gotten I think you got me a calendar. I had a notebook from there, and I love what they do. And she has a really good story about how why she started the brand. And she was looking for things, with Black women on it, and she couldn't find anything, so she created it. And I feel like in this day and age, more of us need to be doing that because people, people are out here getting their money one way or another. I buy stuff from Amazon, I buy stuff from everywhere, CVS. So if I could put some money in another Black woman's pocket, I would much rather do that. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's cute like this. So I love her t-shirts. I love, like I said, their notebooks and stuff. And just wanted to give a shout out. If you never heard of Izzy and Liv, you should sign up. Either, buy something off their site. I'm in the market for some t-shirts. I'm going to probably just rack up on at least 10 or 15 t-shirts for the fall. And then that'll be my thing probably, but from different brands. But yeah, that's what
I took it down because I feel like it's lagging I don't know what. And so I didn't want to have the website up there climbing and shit.
Oh no, it's all good. Now? I was talking to it. Yeah, I can hear you. But it's an echo.
1, 2,
3.
Yeah, we got a 2 or 3 second delay. So anyway, I'm just gonna go on mute and let you talk. So I don't want to I'm gonna try it again. I'm gonna try to add it again. Something's crazy going on over here. So now it says remove, but it's not even on the screen. So okay, let's do this again. It's not gonna work.
No, it's all good. I think I said everything I need to say.
I used to have Izzy and Liv. I used to have Izzy and Liv, and I used to get the brown sugar box, and I got it because of the t-shirts. I love their little t-shirts that have all the little sayings on it, like Queen for a Day, and they have a bunch of little different cool little designs or whatever. So, and you know who else knows them because he was at one of their events one time. The Shea Butter Whoa dude, Terry. Remember him? Yeah, he was at one of her events or whatever. But I cannot scroll through this because I know the internet is tripping right now. I don't know what's going on. How do I sound to y'all? Can y'all hear me? Let me remove this. Okay. I don't know what's going on. So, but your side looks like crystal clear, and my side looks like SD, standard definition. I don't know what's going on. So, I think that we should. I was gonna do something else, but it requires me to go to Instagram, and so I don't want to do that right now because of this, the way it's lagging or whatever. So we need to pick back up next week on whatever we missed, and I just want to thank you guys for coming and hanging through this while we just basically had a ramble sister conversation. Like we do this all the time. We'll be sitting here talking to each other, and then somebody will be like, well, what happened to this? And then, oh, let me Google this and see what happens. And then we end up somewhere else in the conversation or whatever. So thank y'all for like coming along with us on that little journey or whatever. I'm going to go on mute and I'm going to let my sister say the final words.
No, that's so funny because I was on mute because I felt like I was echoing or something. But yes, everything you said, I would agree with. Like, we definitely had some topics that we were going to hit on, but we got all the way caught up in our conversation as we tend to do. But hey, look, you're here for it. We love y'all. We love y'all's comments. So everything that we was going to hit on that we didn't get to this week, we'll probably get to next week because they're all ongoing situations. So I'm excited. Yes. Right. I'm excited. Thanks, y'all, for tuning into another episode of Those Two Sisters Live. And I look forward to seeing y'all next week.
Yes, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm trying to get a community wall. So if y'all want to share my video and tell people I need to get to 500, I would really appreciate it. Also, check the description so that you can check out Faith's Linktree because all of her links are in there. She has a podcast she does with her husband, and she is planner fanatic. Okay, so if you're into like planner spreads and bullet journals and things like that, definitely follow Yes, I'm a Unicorn on YouTube. Her links are in the description. I wanted to shout out I am the single one / first home tuber. If you're looking for anything as far as getting your credit right, buying a house, renting an apartment, or whatever the process entails, go to her channel, First Home Tuber. And then she also has another interesting channel called I Am the Single One. Okay, and she does reviews over there as well for like Ready to Love and things like that. So definitely check her out. I also wanted to send some positive vibes, and I asked everybody to send positive vibes to Jeremy Speaks. That's all I'm gonna say about that. If you know, you know. But if you happen to be on his channel, send him some positive vibes. All right, I've rambled enough. Help me get my community wall, y'all. Let's go. Anyway, all right, I'm done begging. We out.
Bye.